Good evening, folks, and welcome back to Sunset City. Oop, let's make sure. Hey, folks, just making sure you can hear. Welcome back to Sunset City. Uh, I am your ever faithful editor here down in the bullpen with our lovely writing staff as we try to get things together for this most eventful evening of Sunset City, and we are so glad for you to join us tonight. We have a phenomenal all-star cast as always here with us, so let's get into the introductions and then we will get to it. First off, Wally, how you doing tonight, friend? Who are you playing and what are you up to? Oop. Punchy? Maybe get a little. Mhm. Yeah, that can be helpful. Absolutely, absolutely. Um, Somebody who definitely knows about coming back from a death or two. Mythos? Oh. Sandwich day. Sandwiches are nice. Sandwiches are good. I'm not thinking sandwiches are in the offing. However, Party Crasher could set me right, maybe. Hmm. Direction is good. Knowing where you need to end up at some point can be helpful. Um, Somebody who also got a bit of unexpected direction this last week. Uh, Christy, how you doing?
As much as Arthur was on her, as much as you can be on her bad side last time, she is gonna be there for him. And yeah, like he said, it sounds like we just dove into something really bad and now we're going into something else really bad. It'll be
Yeah,
fine. It'll be fine.
everything's fine. Everything is perfectly fine. Nothing bad will ever happen. Isn't that right, Sapphire? Corey, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going? It's me, Corey Sparks, also known as Hyperlight Sparks. I play Sapphire Sirius. We both go by he, him pronouns. And so far, things, have, as you said, been going a bit iffy for the rest of the team. But uh, so far, it's all worked out pretty well. The only thing that Sapphire is really worried about right now is how we're gonna get Mythos and I forget who ran off to get him that time. Was it like I think it was Isla. Yeah, like how Mythos and Isla are gonna be back, but of course we already know how they got back. So, yeah, but Sapphire doesn't. So,
Hmm. Yeah,
mhm,
yeah, it'll be fine. They came back,
right.
and we have somebody special here with us this week. Somebody very special indeed. Want to tell us who you are, who you're playing?
Good morning to good evening, everyone. I am Technical Zombie, also playing Menace. Both of us, and this is the first time for me, using they them pronouns. I'm going to have a fun time.
Menace here, using, for all our intents and purposes tonight, the Reformed playbook from the Halcyon City Herald. But they might have a few other tricks up their sleeve. It's Menace. Menace the Tyrant of Xanadu. But we'll come to that in a bit. I, of course, am Matt the Killer GM, using he, him pronouns, but I portray a variety of characters using all sorts of different pronouns. Because we live in that kind of world, and you need that sort of thing. If you want to help our beloved Mythfits out down below, there are several different buttons you can click to throw us a little bit of cash, help keep our lights on, and maybe, just maybe, get into our writer's room and work things out a little bit. As it is, I see very little reason for us not to get going. We zoom in on what appears to be a factory of some kind, a foundry, really, and we see molten metal being swirled in a vat, with the sound of whirring gears and information being transmitted in a series of binary beeps. The vat lowers and issues a stream of this molten metal into a mold. A machine in the form of a hammer raises up and strikes the metal, sparks flying from it. And watching very intently through a monitor is Menace. Menace, is there anything of note that you wish to indicate with regards to this current device?
As Menace is watching their machines at work, they speak to Mind. Mind, this had better work, or I'm going to be very embarrassed.
The calculation should hold, Menace. Everything is within the parameters that you've specified with your research.
Yes, but we only tested it the once. I can't get Pantheon involved in this.
If not Pantheon, who else, Menace?
There's one who might wield this. I have prepared the invitation after all.
They were sent, and they should be receiving them quite soon.
Then, for the first time, someone else will test my prototype.
And maybe
will
this
be
time
exciting.
it won't explode.
Oh, they only explode half the time, you know that.
Sometimes even when you intend for them to. And so we pull out from the lair of Menace. Back to the House of Mystery. Mythos. It's been a few days since your jaunt into the lands of winter. You were pulled from being run down by the Knights of Autumn by Julian. What have you done since then?
I think we get a series of panels, and it's just like quickly like Hussar and Mythos and Julian getting back to the House of Mystery, and then just this guilty look that he gives Hussar as he just quietly goes, Julian, we need to talk, and walks away to a different room in the house. Hellwarden rule number 3. You will make mistakes. And it is just a bunch of different panels of everything that Mythos has done while Julian's been gone. The good, the bad, and the ugly. As it's all that. And I think for the most part, what Arthur's been up to has been fixing what he can, but a lot of that fixing involves him running away from the one persistent problem, the team.
And I think Julian's been on hand and going and fixing some of the things that maybe couldn't be fixed by Arthur initially. Doing his own form of triage, mystical triage. But there has been those steady and persistent things of, go talk to them. You need to go talk to them. You really should go talk to them.
And I think with the last one, you really should go talk to them. We cut to an image that we're now seeing more often since Julian left, which is the top penthouse suite of 3M Tower. As we see like a different colored thought bubble this time. Well, text box. It's in red. It's Liz. And it just says, I like this kid. I hate this kid. As it's just the two of them sitting across having tea at her desk. Her in her power suit. And him just going, so, yeah, he's back. He keeps hounding me about talking to the team. The team's doing fine without me.
Are you sure about that?
Well, until whatever. I know there's a complication coming. Then I'll have to talk with them. I just don't know what it is. Or can't remember. It's weird.
Multiple timelines are a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
There was this one time where I met myself coming as I was going. And let me tell you, I am really mad when I'm on my way out.
He holds up a figure, like, produces what has become a constant companion in these recent days, because his memory's fuzzier than normal. And just jots down like a quick little note. We see the notepad. Don't visit Liz when Liz is dying. Double underline, and just puts that away.
And so you think taking tea with me is a better use of your time than most other things?
Point. But at the same time, Hellwarden Rule 16. It's important to have tea with an enemy.
And just what have I done to antagonize you, little Mythos?
You haven't yet.
But I will.
Oh, most certainly. And you can bet it's gonna be my fault. As he downs the rest of the tea, puts it in the saucer. By the way, I know he doesn't come and see you, but he does miss you. And he heads out.
See him next. I am going to put my nails through his arm. And we pan away. Elodie. What has Elodie been up to for the past few days?
Elodie's been poring over the contract. She keeps a copy of it in Tequila Sunset. The exact wording, the exact everything. And she's been poring over it and looking for the loophole, and she thought she found it. She really thought she found it there for a minute. I mean, if she was promised these powers and she had to take out the Black Knight, and taking out the Black Knight meant that she would die, there was something. I know there was something, and now my brain doesn't have a grasp on it. But there was something regarding the powers, and Elodie may be dying at the end of the fight, and she thought she had a loophole, and the more she's thought about it.
As I recall, I believe you were given that the loophole is you weren't given everything you needed to beat the Black Knight.
Yes. Yes, that's it.
Yeah, it was something like that. It took something. The contract, the initial contract, took something away that you needed to beat the Black Knight. Something like that.
My name.
Right.
Got it.
Right.
There it is. So that's what she thought the loophole was, and she has been just poring over the contract, trying to see if there's something in the contract about if she isn't given the tools that she needs, then the contract is null and void. That's where she thinks the loophole is.
And as she's poring over the contract, she gets that telltale beep on her phone of a text message.
She looks at it.
Came across my radar. Might be something that might help you. Try digging into OmniDig's Mutual. NW.
Good pal, Night Watch. OmniDig's Mutual. OmniDig's Mutual. Okay. And there's like sticky notes, because she's not sure if she can actually mark the contract. So she's got like sticky notes in it in various places with various notes, and she moves a couple of them around to where they need to be and draws some arrows on them and then shuts it. I guess this is gonna have to wait another day. gotta get with the team. Guys, what's going on? What do we got?
At that point, the panel cuts over to Turbine, who's he's outside of a bank, and you see the sounds of like the sound effect sounds of sirens going off and everything.
Mhm.
And it cuts him. He's like, "What have I got on what? What am I supposed to be looking for again?" And he makes that text. He puts his phone away, and when he puts his phone away, it cuts over that you see that he's in the middle of a fight with Speed Demon. It was the fact that it was a situation where he was out for a drive and he ran into Speed Demon, and they looked at each other, and that's when the fight started, because it's more of a revenge thing for him, but also at the same time, oh yeah, it's a villain, I need to put this guy away.
Oh, that's perfect. I love that.
And he sent the text, and then he puts his phone away, and it was as soon as he puts that phone away, Speed Demon is driving a huge MTA bus, locks it off of a ramp that he made after like trashing a car, and launches the bus at him. And when you see the bus fly at him, it slowly transforms into its more demonic shape as this humongous jaw opens up and tries to bite down on Marvin. And you just see a panel of just the jaws going down on Marvin. And there's like a bit of a pause, and Marvin punches his way out of the jaws. And he's like, all right, I understand we're supposed to be fighting right now, but I'm kind of on the phone with my team. And do you think we can wrap this up as fast as possible? Because I think I got like a friendship crisis going on.
And the Speed Demon just kind of gives that agonized howl as you tear through the metal. And then there's that howl in reverse as the metal tries to knit itself back together for another
Yeah,
passage.
that's what I thought. And he's like holding it. He's trying to hold the jaws open, and they slam down on him again. That's where the panel ends for him.
Perfect. Love it.
Meanwhile,
at
Elodie,
this-
Elodie
oh,
looking at the phone. Why did he answer through text? I came over the ring.
A little while later after that, another message comes through the ring, like, "Oh, hey, Elodie. Yeah, I'm sorry about the whole research thing I was supposed to be doing. I got a little bit preoccupied, and so it just zooms over to another panel of Sapphire Sirius. Now, he is like standing in the middle of what appears to be like a server room, like where like computers and stuff are, and he's got like a bunch of different arms like coming out of him, like he's manifested a whole bunch of arms, and he's speed hacking a whole bunch of computers at the same time, because on the other side of the room is player one, and he's got a bunch of robotic arms coming out of his backpack, and they're both hacking against each other, trying to take over these servers. There are like researchers and stuff running and screaming in panic all around them, by the way. And basically, like, anytime that player one gets control of a server, it just starts spawning out these like hard light holograms of like these sprites that are just coming at him. And he's trying to like hack back against them and just destroy them. And so that's what's going on with him. It's like, yeah, I've kind of got my hands full. There's this one villain. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of him, player one. This dude. Yeah, he's trying to hack the one of the mainframes at Sandcorp, and I'm just
Well,
trying
I mean,
to...
do you need a hand? Are you good over there?
Oh no, I've got a whole bunch of hands. I'm good. And he's like, it's only gonna be a second.
Shapeshifters.
And then you see a panel of the ring going off again on Isla's hand, and it shifts over, and she's just sitting at a table in her house, kind of having a staring competition with Jadwiga. And you can tell they've been sitting there for a while, just kind of seeing who's gonna break first. And when the ring goes off, Isla just looks down and she's like, It'd be really nice if I could go to them with a little bit more answers than questions this time.
If I had answers for you, I give them to you. I give you what you need.
How do you know Mab? I was told to ask you that, and if I'm being honest, that terrifies me that you might have known her.
Met the Queen of Winter back when I was a little bit older than you.
And she taught you how to crochet.
Yes, she taught me how to crochet. That's
Sorry, I'm annoyed right now. I'm not trying to. Sorry, keep going.
We met, we've talked, we've. How you say. Dilly dallied. But ultimately, she is of the fairest. And our kinds do not mix.
You didn't want to tell me about this at all?
I didn't think it would be important. I didn't think you would be walking into her throne room.
Well, yeah, a lot of things have been happening lately that I didn't think would happen. She has my blood now, which is cool.
Oh yes, that's fine. Give her our blood. It's not like she hasn't taken much else from us.
Alright, I can tell this is going nowhere. I've gotta go. But I love you. Please, if you have something to tell me, because we're going through a lot right now. And if I don't know what's happening because of my own family history is just, locked away in a box somewhere, I can't be much help.
Sometimes locked boxes have a reason to be locked, little one.
Okay.
Go
Love
to your
you.
friends. I love you too.
And she just goes to the House of Mystery.
As I think we see Hussar coming into the House of Mystery, we see Arthur walking out to the fight downtown between Speed Demon and Turbine, and he just walks up as this demon bus is trying to chew the gristle that is Turbine, and he just goes, "Jimmy Hellion, I just had tea with your aunt. Spit him out now."
But
Thank you. By the way, she's very proud of you. And retrieves Marvin.
what?
We gotta
Oh,
go.
all right. What about that guy?
Trust me, on the priority list, he ranks a D right now.
And he as he's walking away with the other, he does this. Speed he goes.
It revs the engine a little bit before, somehow performing a 180 on a 2-lane road, despite being a windy bus, and roars off.
And they just walk back through the door. I'm just picturing this panel of whatever demonic saliva, what color that is. I leave that to y'all. That
It's
Marvin's
iridescent.
just covered from
Yeah.
from head to toe, glistening,
Yeah.
and roughed up.
Yeah, I just walk in and I'm just covered covered in this it looks like a little bit like crude motor oil. At its base, it looks like crude motor at its base as he's just walking into the House of Mystery. It's like, I mean, I was just out for a drive. That's all I was doing. Just running some errands, and I ran into him. He started it.
Did you get to punch something?
I
know.
punched him.
Oh, good. Okay.
I got
I'm
eaten
glad.
too, so I can
Oh.
cross that off my bucket list.
And meanwhile, while all this is going on, like, Marvin's phone just starts vibrating off the hook, and then as soon as, like, if he takes it out, what's going to end up happening is there's going to be a light that just sort of flashes out of it, and Sapphire will come tumbling out, like, and he's just covered in pixels, like it's dust, and he just like dusts himself off with like that. Okay, good news is I stopped player one. Bad news is he trapped me in cyberspace, and I just found a way out. Funny thing about cyberspace, it might have seemed like a couple of seconds to you guys, but to me it was like 5 weeks. But I'm good. I'm good.
At that moment, like, Arthur just has this like flash of recognition and goes, "You understand now," and just like cradles Sapphire's face, like, "I'm like contemplating kissing you right now," and then just gives him like the tightest.
Melody's leaning against the wall with a cookie. Do it, kiss him, do it.
And then, like, Marvin's phone starts blinking, play again.
Last time I tried to kiss somebody, Soul Brother came and cock-blocked me. I don't...
and there's just this push away. And you know what cock block means? I'm so proud.
You're welcome.
I learned it from Elodie.
So
Yeah,
proud.
I didn't teach him that.
Marvin is staring at his phone because his same playing again on it. He's like, nope. And he breaks his phone, puts it in the trash. I need a new phone now, but it'll for the better good.
Don't worry, I can make you a new one. Or at least, probably. I can try.
I think Menace is watching from on a monitor that's got a view of a street cam and hearing all of you and saying, "Oh, they're adorable."
Okay, so Elodie, you called us?
Yeah, I got a message from Nightwatch. Something about what was the? It's not in my brain. Where did it go?
It's Omnidigs Mutual.
Thank you. Something about Omnidigs Mutual. Looking into that.
Omnidigs Mutual. Anybody know anything about
it? I might.
Uh,
I'd like to been reading the files
Mm-hmm.
and see what I might know. So that is roll with superior.
While this is happening, I'm trying to clean off Marvin a little bit. Oh, this is gross.
I'm covered in it. You just see him like covered head to toe in this thing. It's like, it's a fleeting battle to do this.
Pulling towels from the linen closet.
So on a hit, I can tell the team one important detail that I've learned from doing research. I do not get a follow-up question because that was not a 10. Omnidig. They're a multinational conglomerate with both, the typical corporate criminal ties, but they occasionally trade in super technologies and artifacts. Why are you being pointed by? Last time Nightwatch gave us anything, it did not end well.
Well, that wasn't her fault.
Okay, I'm concerned, and MacGuffins are not a good thing to be poking at, especially right now.
We just need a really long stick. And maybe also a blast shield.
I think Tom might have left one somewhere. I think it was part of his spaceship.
I mean, if he does have a bit, if we have that, I mean, we could do something with it, right?
I'm certain Sirius can come up with something.
How was that?
I think Tom left a bit of his spaceship might be able to be used as a blast shield.
It was a metaphor, guys. It was a metaphor. Long stick, blast shield, because it's a theoretical MacGuffin
I got it.
to poke
Wait.
at.
A metaphor what?
Oh, honey.
No, seriously, most MacGuffins are either like timey-wimey, suck you in things, or spacey-wacy, explode.
Yeah, but this is a company.
Yeah, they use those.
What does Nightwatch know about what's happening right now with you?
I mean, I haven't told her anything.
Okay, so there's
And I haven't posted about it on Twitter.
You have a Twitter?
I have
Yeah.
a Twitter. I have a YouTube channel.
I have a Tumblr too. I make gifs.
Yeah, I got a YouTube channel.
Marvin Cooks on his YouTube channel.
I used to have a YouTube, but I don't really post much on it anymore. Ever since people kept telling me that my DIY projects were too complicated, I just,
Honey.
Hard to have social media when there's a mystical curse. Okay, so consensus is we can trust Nightwatch, and now we have to pokey wokey the corporate berry wary.
Oh, Ariel, how are we gonna, poke a corporate bear?
With a corporate stick.
It's easy. Steal something, or get involved in their affairs.
Arthur, are you giving me permission to do a crime?
I'm not giving anyone permission to do anything. Like, look
I want to do a crime. Can I do a crime?
guys.
No, Elodie, I think that was a option, not the option to go with.
Like seriously, if anything has been learned in the past 2 weeks, I think my judgment's kind of fuzzy.
I mean, I guess like saying, doing a crime is really a meta. That's what it's for.
Well, usually in order to do a crime, you have to have a target, and aside from their ties to the local university, I don't know what other way we can upset them. I mean,
What?
we can wreck their lab, but
I'm down for that. I'm with that. Let's do that. I'm down to wreck a lab.
or here's a thought. If we're still talking about crimes, what if we get some information on them and use it to blackmail them? Something that they don't want people anyone to know. I mean, they're a huge corporation. I know that they've probably got some kind of secret they don't want coming out. Plus, we've got the House of Secrets. Oh wait, we can't enter that freely. But
honestly, blackmail. Hell Warden Rule 25. Don't blackmail unless you have to. Because once you push that button once, you can't unpress it. And once you apply that level of pressure, people do things.
well, yeah, I guess you've got a point. Anyone else got any ideas?
My idea is really kind of like along the lines of going to one of their places and just wrecking stuff and see what happens.
I'm getting the feeling that this burgeoning criminal enterprise of ours is rubbing one of us the wrong way. So, Isla, what would you like to do?
Thank you for noticing that I was very uncomfortable in those moments. But if I'm being honest, I think one of the best options is very direct, because usually when we try to go, sneaky, underhanded, see what happens, it blows up in our face anyway.
True.
This is very true.
We
We
have
don't
track
have a
record.
good, record of being sneaky.
And I'm not gonna lie, if it requires Sapphire to do any sort of shape-shifting and acting, I love you, babe. No.
Fair enough. Fair enough. My talents lie elsewhere.
So job number 1 would be to find the nearest headquarters or nearest branch or factory or whatever, and at least go and case it out first. And if there's nothing at face value up front, then Marvin can bust some stuff open.
Okay, so you say you need a fly on the wall, and he just transforms into like a little fly.
Okay.
I learned that one from Marvin.
Taught him that.
I'm gonna go get the yellow pages.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Giant tome. I think this is only 4 years old. And
Omnidig's Mutual. There is a phone number there that you can call.
sure, we'll use the landline.
Certainly can't
And
hurt.
brings over this, like, definitely made in the 1980s flamingo style handset phone.
Is it rotary?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
And just does the slow dialing.
Thank you for calling the Sunset City offices of Omnidig Mutual. Our office has been permanently closed. Please contact our corporate headquarters in Xanadu if you require our assistance.
Just hangs up angrily.
Did they put you on hold? I hate when they people put me on hold too.
Worse than hold.
Did they make you talk to recording?
Just turns on his heels, staring at Ellaby.
What?
If
What?
I ever see Night Watch, I'm gonna Marvin punch him.
Oh. Okay, now you gotta explain what's happening.
The local headquarters is closed. Everything's been relocated to Xanadu.
Xanadu! He, and Sapphire just like, he's still in fly form. Isn't that place run by that villain?
Oh no. I did
man.
remember that name from that.
Xanadu. It's up there with the most dangerous locations I ever wanted to go to. 1 being Kung Fu Island, 2 Xanadu, 3 Florida.
We're never going to Florida.
Why won't you let me have fun, Arthur?
Or New Jersey!
Jersey's negotiable. Florida? There are spirits there that, no, I'm not dealing with. Also,
Never let me have fun.
Abe, remember the story about bath salts? We're not doing this.
it's not the bath salts. It's the ghosts and the gator god.
What?
So, okay.
Look, when Sobek makes a place a summer home, he really makes it a summer home.
Okay, so apparently in order to do your buddy a solid, we're having to go on a field trip.
Field trip!
Okay, step 1, raid the kitchen. Step 2, gas station. Step 3, take the ship.
I guess I'm making me some snacks for you guys. Some nice
I'm
healthy
on
stuff.
it! And he like transforms back into like his normal form and heads to that ship hangar.
I like to now think that the current location for the House of Mystery is not even a full block away from a 7-Eleven.
Yes.
And it's just, as everyone's scurrying around, Mythos still in full gear, taking a couple of like old lady style canvas bags, just stripes them on the arm, and takes the one of the myriad of wallets in the wall of wallets, which is right by the front door. This has got a 40, and heads out to go to the 7-Eleven.
The sign above the wall of wallets says, take a wallet, leave a wallet.
Excellent. What is Marvin making for the journey?
He's going hard. He's actually making some Chex Mix in the kitchen. He's like taking Chex. He's making Chex Mix on one counter, and he's making Rice Krispie treats on another counter. So you see him like going to one counter, like, you know, seasoning up all the Chex Mix stuff and everything, put it in the oven. Then he goes to the other counter and starts cooking up the stuff, starts making up the marshmallow fluff for the Rice Krispie treats. So he's just going back and forth between the two.
Elodie
And
comes up behind him, rests her chin on his shoulder. Can you make Muddy Buddies? I want Muddy Buddies.
okay, I'll make Muddy Buddies.
Thank you.
Can't have too much sugar stuff, you know.
Kisses him on the cheek.
Can't have too much sugar stuff. You gotta have some healthy stuffs.
I know, but I like Muddy Buddies.
We're gonna get Muddy Buddies. And he starts working on that.
Isla ran out after Arthur. And she kind of just slowly follows him and waits for him to notice.
Like, it's just as they turn onto the sidewalk from the steps of the house, he just stops stock still.
Isla stops. Just stands there waiting for him to turn.
He just hangs his head.
She walks forward and just kind of puts her arms around him and holds him. Gives him a big hug around the back. I said some things I didn't mean. You were my first friend in this group. And I don't think there's anything you can do that'll make me hate you. I just was scared that I might not have had any control over what I'm doing now. But if there's anybody that I would trust with my life, other than, you know, those weirdos back there that we have to watch all the time, it would be you.
Out of all of us, you're the one person that really does have control.
Doesn't feel like it, but thank you.
Trust me, you do. And it cuts to that same panel, that nightmare vision of Mythos's, of the fight between Party Crasher and the Black Knight, and Hussar intervening and getting stabbed. Run through. No. You're the one in control. I just might be able to shift things a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right.
Still holding him from the back, she just says, I trust you to do what's right. No matter what. Because she can feel that he's feeling something very deeply about what's going to happen with her. She can sense something. And then she just whispers, get me some gummy worms. And then she goes back.
Okay. All right. So, meanwhile, you know, I just noticed something interesting about the way that one of my That's just one of my moves works. So, but that's beside the point. What Sapphire does, while he's on his way to his ship, he opens up his communicator and calls up the rest of the stalagmites. Let's see. Okay, right. So he's like, "Hey guys, sorry to bother you again, but my friends and I are going somewhere really, really dangerous, and I would really like to know if you have any spare portal generators you can let me borrow." And that's going to be a roll of belong in two worlds, because let's see what it's going to be. Hit. That means on 7 through 9, I hold 2. And with this particular move, one of the things that you can do is you can spend each of your holds to receive a useful piece of alien technology that will allow you to use any ability from another playbook once. So, I'm going to get 2 instances of a portal generator that lets me use the shadow portal ability from the legacy. With my 2 just in case we need to make a hasty retreat.
All right. So yeah,
and that's basically that.
So yeah, some of the stalagmites are very happy to help you out.
So,
All right. Is there anything anybody else wishes to do before you settle up and head out? All right. So Arthur is able to return from the 7-Eleven with what snacks in tow?
I think the cut is to the interior of Sapphire's ship, as we're all like got 2 liters of different beverages. There's the bag of gummy worms, the giant gas station only sized thing of Swedish fish, and assorted other sundries and goodies. I think there's like a panel later as the gravity kind of goes slightly off, that at least one cow tail like emerges from somewhere and starts spinning in space.
Isla pulls out a mixtape. You've got someplace for this, right? Sure, I'll just put it here. And she just shoves it in whatever hole looks like a hole of tape.
Like, whoa, hold on.
It'll work. And if it does work, then Sandstorm comes blasting on.
Like, what happens is, like, when she like shoves it into like whatever it is, like the ship just sort of absorbs the tape, and they're like just sort of sucks it in through like a plain flat surface, and then in that surface, like a little crystalline face just sort of just comes out of the thing. It opens its mouth, and out of its open mouth, you just hear and so
Lithian sound systems, everyone.
Yeah.
And so we have the strains of Sandstorm as Sirius's ship streaks across the sky towards Xanadu, the city of menace.
Dun dun dun.
Menace, would you like to describe the skyline as our heroes approach?
Ah, yes. Xanadu, the city that capitalism built. Xanadu is a huge circular... I'm moving my arms, like you can't see it. Xanadu is a huge circular city. Aggressively leveled out, even to the extent of cutting a mountain in half to do it. And then they put a lot of manufacturing in the mountain. And the
where once there are skyscrapers, especially towards the center of the city, all reaching towards the sky, but now dominating the center of the city, where once were old 50s and 60s brutalist Art Deco architecture existed, built by the corporations that started Xanadu. Now it is dominated by a huge, unfinished, about 3/4 finished now, black pyramid that glints in the sunlight as you approach the city. And as you approach the city, you can see the remnants of recent events. A gigantic skyscraper-sized mech that is in the process of being disassembled with an ad hoc foundry and what's the word I'm looking for? Where you melt down metal.
Forge?
Yeah, smelter. Smelter and foundry facility off next to it. And out of the foundry is coming, well, there's boxes coming out of it, but you can also see statues coming out of it. All statues, if you end up going down and looking, you'll see statues that are representations of all the heroes that supported Menace during the Xanadu War.
So yeah.
Eat your heart out, Lord Recluse.
Hey guys, remind me that we need to go to the gift shop because I gotta get a keychain for my mom.
You are hailed by air traffic control as you come on approach, and you are essentially diverted to a small airfield just outside town.
So
It seems they are not unfamiliar with strange aircraft streaking in unscheduled.
well, this is it, guys. Xanadu.
Just gonna request like a meeting with Menace.
Why?
I mean, he's gonna find out we're here. I figured we might as well just get.
Well, they will find out. However, we use that possibly 30-second lead time to get as far in as we can and try and get to what exists of that corporation if it hasn't been hostilely taken over.
When the ship lands and they like are walking off the ship into this airfield that they were told to land in, like Marvin just speaks up as like that one panic, like, guys, don't worry, you'll be fine. It's not like as soon as we get off the ship, Mendes is going to be waiting for us with a legion of his followers ready for us, to just bring us in and ask us questions.
Sapphire's just like,
Nah.
Just this dead-eyed stare. Just the like you have this like a beautifully illustrated like thing of Turbine, and then just this exaggerated like face of how dare you speak this into existence.
oh, like, no, that's not what Sapphire's doing. Like,
Arthur.
as soon as Marvin said, "Oh, go ahead." No, sorry.
Arthur, what is one story Julian has told you about Menace?
Less about Menace, more about Xanadu.
That's fair.
If you have to go there, 1, sorry. 2, you are in for a bad time. Because things will go wrong. Rule 3 is in effect on the entire city.
It's a rough place. Sapphire, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say that as soon as Marvin says, "Oh, it's not like Menace is gonna show up right behind me" and all that kind of stuff, he just hears behind him, and Sapphire is standing behind him, shapeshifted as Menace.
Sapphire gets it. He's not like he's gonna just pop in right behind us or anything.
Exactly. It just like transforms back into his normal self.
You land at the airfield. You start to disembark. There. Oh, what was that? Menace?
Menace was. I'm going to describe what meets you at the airfield. At the airfield. At first, you think there's nobody there. Disembark. There's no grand force. Menace isn't there. And then you're approached by a lone figure. They're wearing a gray uniform you haven't seen before. They appear to be a perfectly normal human, female, carrying a clipboard. They say, hello. Names, please.
I'm Sapphire Sirius.
Writes it down.
Oh, my name's Turbine. Nice to meet
Turbine. Thank you.
Hasar?
Hassan. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Mythos.
Mythos, thank you.
Jody Goldstein.
That's not the name I have here.
Okay, checking. Party Crasher.
Thank you. Well, welcome to Xanadu. My name's Sam. I'm a member of the City Watch. We replaced the police just before the war, you see. And
No cops?
yeah, no cops. No cops in Xanadu, yes. But there are still laws. So if you're here to break them, just don't let us know. We'll find out. And if you're here for hero work, you can find support at Scrapyard number 2. If you're here for tourism, Scrapyard number 2 is also a good place for the heroes to visit. The original base of the Scrubs. That's the original team of our local hero, Pulsar. Do you have any business to declare, or would you like to remain undeclared?
Isla just whispers to Elodie. She goes, I've seen this movie. I volunteer as tribute.
And what would you like to contribute?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just the way you're dressed. Never mind.
What exactly do you mean by like declared and undeclared business?
Oh, well, if you're here after a villain or somebody that you're chasing.
Oh, I see. Well,
But you don't have to tell us.
right.
It's a declaration of intent.
Yes, that's correct.
Right, exactly. We're only here to just talk with some. We're only here to conduct business with one of the local corporations. That's all there is to it.
Well, the corporate business office is open. I suggest going to City Hall, or if you have a direct line, I go to their offices. If you're looking for one of the original corps of Xanadu, don't go to City Center. It's still under construction. They've all been moved. Literally, the physical buildings were lifted and moved.
Wait, so that's what about what's the name of that company again? Something Holdings. I forgot.
He looks at his notepad. OmniDigs Mutual.
OmniDigs Mutual, yes. What about OmniDigs Mutual? Do they still exist here, or were they moved as well?
OmniDigs Mutual. I would have to look into that. If you're interested, I think a lot of companies were sort of discarded during the fire sale, if you've ever heard of that. That might be an event to look up if you're investigating anything. That's all the information I should offer. I shouldn't make things easy for you, after all. Anything else? Any questions? Directions? Here's a map. Gives you a map.
Oh, thank you.
Question. I got a question.
Hmm?
Is it true that you guys breed pandas that can breathe fire?
No. Menace doesn't get too into biotechnology.
All right.
For that, you would want King Croc.
All right. That's a little disappointed.
He's a villain. If you want to find your way to King Croc's geofront, I would try contacting, let's see, Possum Girl. That's the one you want to talk to.
Okay.
If you do, she's feisty. But if you want to find her, go to scrapyard number 5. But be careful, it's quite toxic.
Okay, I mean, I was hoping I could find one, but that's a lot of extra work.
Well, if that'll be all, I have to get back to my duties. Thanks for coming to Xanadu. I hope you enjoy your stay.
Nope. Yeah. Bye.
And they walk away.
All right. So as soon as this lady leaves, I want to once again use my belonging to worlds to contact my other people. This time for information. As the little screen comes up, like, hey guys, what can you tell me about the fire sale? Let me just roll that real quick.
No, you can spend your hold to just get that information. You don't have to.
Oh, right. I can.
You've got
So,
one more hold to do that, so.
Okay, well, yeah. Then, yeah, I
See,
need that.
Let's see, fire sale. Xanadu fire sale. Looks like they just went through some weird big corporate takeover. This Menace character bought up like most every major corporation in the city and then burned a bunch of the assets.
A bunch of the assets. Well, I forgot the name of that mutual. What's that? I forgot the name of the company again.
Omnidigs.
Omnidigs
Yeah.
Mutual. Is Omnidigs Mutual on that list anywhere? Do you know what happened to them?
Omnidigs was bought up by Menace, it looks like. So any
Right.
data on them, probably in their servers.
And where would their servers be? Would they still be in the same building as their original headquarters, or was that one of the buildings that was relocated?
They weren't one of the original corporations, so it wasn't relocated. Yeah, it's stored somewhere, but I can't find it. It's not available on these servers that I can see.
Right. Thank you very much. Over and out. Okay, so yeah, we've got a bit of a problem. Apparently, in order to get to Omnidigs, we're going to have to go through Menace.
Yeah, I saw that one coming. Okay.
I guess we should have made an appointment with them then, right?
Yeah, probably. Anyone see where that one lady in the gray suit went?
I look for that lady, see where she went.
Vanished.
Ooh.
She's not here. You know what? I'm gonna try something. All right. Him. Hey, Menace! We want to talk to you. I mean, if you're this big bad supervillain, you probably hear us right now. So, and he like just waits.
Yeah, and Sapphire like follows suit. He's calling out for her to like, hey Menace! Finds like a little hovering camera drone or something. It's like, hey Menace, we need to talk to you.
Hyland just looks at Arthur and she goes, I told you.
Just
Should've-
walks back to the ship, grabs the pre-cooked bacon and Hawaiian rolls, makes himself a sandwich, cracks open a Mountain Dew, and is just looking at Turbine and Sapphire with a face of exasperation, and I'm going, I hope you're happy for what happens next.
Honestly, kind of am, but let's see what's gonna happen.
I mean, shortest distance between point A and point B, straight freaking line.
Exactly. See, she gets it.
Isla kind of jumps on Marvin's back and just kind of like squeezes his cheeks, and she's like, "You're lucky I love you."
And like Marvin's like, I'm just saying, if this guy really is so super, really, he's probably been watching us the entire time.
Shut your pretty mouth. Shut it. Shut that beautiful mouth of yours.
So you sit there watching the skyline dominated by that great, partially constructed black pyramid. And no one comes. It seems if Menace is going to put in an appearance, you're going to have to put in some work.
You really think that so here's a thought. Now I'm gonna take if you don't mind that I take a page out of your book, Mr. Mythos. I think it might be time for us to do something stupid. What do you say we start raising hell?
Hey, that'll be Plan G. Just spitballing though, and don't get mad at me. I do have kind of a stupid idea, but less stupid than that one.
Okay.
I could go as Isla to try and find him and interview him.
Interesting.
I mean, Isla's pretty unassuming, right?
There's that, but honestly, I don't think antagonizing someone that led a rebellion and is now has complete tyrannical control over a city is the best option.
Like as Mythos is saying that, you see in the background of the panel that he's saying that, you see Marvin picking up like a truck about to chuck it, and then slowly sets it down.
Like, if I've learned anything from Liz, there's a secretary. And if there's a secretary, there's often a gift shop, a hotel, and a restaurant. So we go and do the one errand that we need to do before everything goes wrong, and we go to the gift shop and we get May a keychain.
May really wants a keychain.
And then from there we can try and make proper introductions or end up doing plan F.
Okay,
Alright.
I want to throw out there, if there's ever a moment to use Isla, now would be the time. Just because.
That is an excellent idea. However, we don't know the current situation in the city. So it might be perfectly good time for people who can be mundane to be mundane. Or it might be a situation where it's costumes and masks only, and I'm going to be very sore tomorrow.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's
All
a good
right,
point.
well, first stop, keychain.
Yeah, keychain.
I guess we'll just go from there.
Scarfs the rest of the bacon sandwich, downs the Mountain Dew, and looks like he's going to contemplate trying to teleport people, but then looks at that pyramid, just shakes their head nah, and just starts walking.
I follow suit.
Yep, I follow.
Yeah, I follow him too.
Melody's following behind. Her hands are behind her head, and she's like, why do they think we need to do villain things to attract a villain? Shouldn't we be doing hero things to attract a villain? Isn't that how it works?
What?
Well, I mean, if this place is like ruled by a villain, it's kind of one of those scenarios where, like, the good thing to do is to like, I don't know.
I mean, it's one of those
It
situations.
gets weird.
Yeah,
Like when the law is bad, is breaking the law good?
Well, we don't even know if that's bad, do we? I mean,
So, here's the description of the city as you enter it. It's not quite the post-capitalist ruinous hellscape that you expected. The streets are paved and pristine. The people are calm. Sirens are not constantly going off everywhere. There's no rampant violence all over the place. Every couple of corners, you see the gray uniforms of the watch. There are other watch members out there also helping with traffic, or working on some security measure, that like the cameras that surveil the city and things like that. And none of them carry weapons, although you do see a few supers among them. But it's not a continuous orgy of violence and crime in the city. Certainly not the chaos you've been told to expect.
I mean, I honestly thought there was gonna be like, some like legit guys fighting in the streets kind of stuff. And you kick like a trash can, you find a whole chicken underneath it, and I eat it, and it makes me feel strong kind of stuff going on here.
I was literally just expecting a bunch of spiky black towers and red skies and probably a couple robot spiders walking around.
But why does this scare me more?
Because you're coming into a place where someone won.
Yep. Well, let's go to this gift shop, and he looks around to where like the gift shop of the city, like one of those like those like souvenir stores you see in like major cities.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll like look around for one.
Basically, you get directed to the center of town where the city center is being converted to mayoral offices / public park / community center / tourist center.
I think we might be able to get more information here and also get my souvenir.
Nothing else, if we're going to be on an extended stay, since this is a corporate job, might as well get information about the local hotel scene.
That too.
I think I'm going to be Mr. Robert Paulson today.
All right, well, that's the wee wallet you got. Oh, let's go. And he goes into the souvenir shop and looks around and is specifically looking for two certain things. One, a keychain for Xanadu that has like the local iconic whatever on it. It's probably like a keychain of a big black pyramid, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And he also grabs a t-shirt that says "I love Xanadu" on it.
And that's a black heart.
Yes. Like he specifically needed those two things and buys them and puts them in the bag.
Is anybody else getting anything while they're here in the gift shop?
Just going to that little kiosk that has like all the different pamphlets for like the local hotels, local attractions, what have you. Oh, they got a Frizzetti's Pizza here.
Is it Rossetti's Pizza here?
Huh? Yeah. Apparently, it's located on the bottom floor of the local Hilton.
Get your favorite pizza.
I could get my favorite pizza here.
Starch?
One of the most popular mini statues of the heroes that participated in the Xanadu War is one of Blackguard, a Silver Age Xanadu-based superhero. She's in her 60s these days, but she participated in the war. Killed vampire Hitler.
I want that on my tombstone.
It's fair.
Isla is going to see, is there someone behind a desk at a cash register?
Yep.
I'm assuming. Okay. She's just gonna walk up to them. Hi, how are you?
I'll play the part. Hi, how nice to meet you.
Hi, first time to Xanadu. Do you have anything you want to like tell me to like anything special I need to see before I go?
Oh, well, you could go see the mech. That's a good one. It's pretty popular these days, especially since it's being torn down.
I was gonna say I saw that coming in. Why is it being torn down?
Oh, well, it's a huge radioactive hazard. It
Oh,
had a fusion reactor in the middle of it, right?
right. Yeah,
So, and Possum Girl and Blackguard and Mercury, and they all got together and they blew it up. Like, Mercury apparently formed a huge radioactive shield to keep them all from dying. It was amazing.
that is amazing. And I heard about this person, Menace. They are in charge of everything.
Oh, well, I mean, we do have a new proper mayor. Menace just owns everything. That's why we call them the tyrant.
Oh, I understand. They're the money. The mayor's the mouth.
Well, Menace tries not to get involved too much in politics these days. We're not really sure what they're focused on, actually. Probably their relationship with Pulsar.
Interesting.
In fact, if you want to know more about that, there's a book out published by Menace and Pulsar, ghost written by the AI Mind, actually. It's very cool. Lots of interesting information in there about their early days, especially Pulsar's early days. All the cool details about Blue Shift and Xenomech. I've read it. It's actually very gripping.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
And then they just hand you the book like you're gonna buy it.
I
Just slides a $20 bill and goes back to the kiosk.
Yeah. Perfect. This is amazing. Also, just between you and me, any places that not many people know about? You know?
Well, actually, if you like getting into, do you like exploring abandoned buildings and stuff?
Oh, do I?
If you can sneak in under the pyramid, it's actually not that dangerous. Most of the construction is in the upper levels, so the lower levels are just kind of unused. If you can get into the maintenance doors, you can get underneath the building, and you can explore the basements of the old corporate headquarters. Lots of weird stuff down there. I heard they have old labs and stuff from the 60s.
No way.
Very strange. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Keep the change because you're so amazing.
Oh, thanks. And then they press the button to open the cash register, and that's when you all drop out through the floor.
Like, okay, so you know what's going
doors
to happen.
open, and you're falling.
Okay, so as soon as the floor like falls through, Sirius, you know, he catches on pretty quick that the floor fell through, and he's just sort of hovering there because Sirius can fly. As you guys are like sort of falling, he uses his that newly gained ability that he has, that the creating like card-like constructs, and he like creates like a sort of just creates like a net and tries to grab like all of you as you're falling, and that's gonna be an unleash my powers, right?
That sounds about right.
Right. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. Unleash my powers as a plus freak. And full hit.
Okay, so you managed to catch everybody.
Right. So yeah, I just sort of catch everyone
Mm-hmm.
and try to fly them out of the building. While wait, are the doors locked? Are the doors all sealed?
Menace, would you care?
The doors definitely seal behind you, and then are they considered vulnerable?
I feel like they're somewhat vulnerable,
Okay.
but I feel like this is more a wield your powers sort of thing. Honestly.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. That do I just? Let's see. I have these moves. I don't
So
see.
you roll your freak, and then we'll
Okay.
work that up.
Don't have a penalty. Submit. Ha!
All right, 11, full hit. So with that, you can either take hold of something vulnerable to you, create something useful from your environment, or neutralize an opponent or threat, at least for now.
Oh, and then I would like to neutralize Sapphire's net, as energy coruscates around the shaft around you and just absorbs the energy of the net.
Like you what the?
And you go tumbling down.
Yeah, we all just go falling down.
When the floor opened
And
up,
I'm even gonna say like whatever Menace did to deactivate the net, like deactivated Sapphire's flight too, and he just
Basically, that energy that you had, it's poof, out.
when the
yeah.
floor opened up, he like Martin was just about to take the bag of souvenirs away from the cash register, and that's when the floor opened up. He's like, no.
Oh,
I think he can grab it as they'll hold it for him. They'll hold it for him.
it'll be there when he gets back.
This is a normal thing.
This is not. This is nothing new to Mythos, the entire falling thing.
Mhm.
So he just grabs all of the pamphlets, clutches them tight, like crosses arms to get maximum velocity down, head first.
Melody shoots wings out of her back and launches an arm as a tentacle at Arthur's feet and sort of like wraps around his ankles and tries to hang there, flapping. What the hell?
Oh, I was planning to impact and cause a scene.
Oh, okay. I can let you go if you want.
Sounds good.
Okay.
And down they go. Where do they land?
They land in a very like a hotel lobby, and there's a TV up there. Like as they land, nobody impacts. When they land, it's just like there's a boom kind of a noise, and they all like their fall is arrested, and then they're just sort of like dropped like 3 feet to the floor. And it's a hotel. It looks like a hotel lobby, and there's a TV posted, near the desk where you would normally find a TV in kind of a Super 8 or something. And it comes to life, and you see Menace, the iconic Menace face, the black mask, and the background is kind of a coruscating violet color, and Menace starts to speak and says, "Welcome, Pulsar, to my underground lair." And then it freezes, and a voice, you hear Menace's voice again. Mind, I told you to reset that. Is it fucking Windows 95 again?
I got through those updates just fine, Menace, and I played what you asked for me to play.
Yes, but I asked you to play that like 10 years ago.
and you haven't changed it since.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. All right.
I hate when we do it
New-
live.
New image comes up. It's Menace again. Different background, more like a lab. Welcome, Mythfits, to my underground lair. I have something you want. If you can beat my challenge in the lair that even Pulsar couldn't find, I will give you what you want. You will owe me something as well. Let the challenge begin. And then the screen goes blank. There are doorways you can go through.
Did we stumble into a fun house? Is that what this is?
It's an escape room.
No.
It's an escape room. It's one of those things.
Oh, I hate escape rooms. I just
No,
usually
this-
punch my way
No,
out.
no, guys, this is a superpower escape room. We have to use our powers to get out.
Guys, it's nowhere near that fun.
Hmm.
Guys,
It sounds like fun. We can make it fun.
No, well,
It's like
Yes,
when
we
you're a
can make
kid
it
and your
fun,
parents
but
tell you
we-
that chores can be a game.
no, this is like Julian dealing with the great game, or trying to escape the halls of Ziklantia, or that one time that he got caught in Ohio. But yeah, no, this is a villain's entertainment, their idea of fun. So there's going to be death traps and weird things, and it's going to be a day. I want to
You see in the
I'm still
background.
trying to.
just
And
tosses the
Sapphire's
pamphlet.
just.
You see the background, like Marvin constantly trying to jump up back into the shaft they fell down.
And Sapphire just looking around the room, and he's like, "I'm still trying to figure out what the purpose of an escape room is. Why would you build a room for escaping? Earth architecture is weird."
What does he mean? We have something for him or them? Excuse me.
We will owe them. We will owe them, and they have something that apparently we want. One of us wants. I don't know.
What do they have that we need?
I have no idea.
The information about the
Information, I
work.
guess.
Oh,
That I watched that as
oh,
after.
yeah. Actually, when you think about it, we kind of do need him, and he kind
I
of has
really feel
information
like
he
Night
needs.
Watch has just been setting us up this entire time. They're not quite so good.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Or they just happen to know that most of our answers lie in really dangerous places, so they give us a heads up first.
Yeah.
Mind, play track 39, encourage them.
Track 39. Engaging.
What's track 39?
Slightly left of center. Love the way you move.
Oh, I like this song. Oh, I like this song.
The wall from behind you slides open, and out of it walks an obviously robotic, but still incredibly recognizable facsimile of Russian President Vladimir Putin.
With the boots.
Marvin, you have a punchable object.
I'm gonna punch it, and I just run at this thing, and I go to drop kick it out of in midair.
Yeah, you drop kick it. It smashes.
Ha! Take that, Putin.
Okay, but that was like a three-dimensional meme. Why would you destroy that? That was art.
Yeah, but
Sometimes you just have to destroy something beautiful.
you just gotta break something.
I guess.
I mean, I was gonna
it's
break
over the
performance
comm.
art.
Thanks for breaking that. It's been a bother. Now please move on.
Fine.
How many doors are there?
Yeah, how many doors again?
Just like three hallways that you can walk down.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you always go right. That's what I always say. And he walks over to the right door and then opens it and goes right through.
The door shuts behind you.
Wait.
Like a very
And there he
solid
goes.
sound.
I knew it.
Oh dear.
Oh,
All
it's Ohio.
alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we better go help him.
No.
Menace, play for him track 32. And release the nemesis.
Playing Duran Duran, The Wild Boys. And Marvin, as you walk into this room, it lights up. And on the other side of the room is Grendel. And we
Grendel?
will- Hey, kid. Miss me?
But it's Labor Day.
Yeah, this is for pleasure.
Oh. Oh.
And we will cut away back to the rest of our crew.
He's just gonna try and separate us one by one. They're just gonna try to separate us. That's what they're gonna do.
It's Ohio.
Uh,
Okay,
Don't
so-
worry, I've got a bit of an ace in the hole. So I'm just going to get my little section of this over with. He just sort of hovers and drifts his way into like the middle door.
Shunk! Dun, 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 dun. And even before the last lights come on, you see that ruby glow coruscate around.
Oh, of course. It's Ruby Meta. Yeah, wasn't there? Didn't we make a deal before? You weren't gonna come after me if I stayed here.
Mind, I think you should play for him track 29, True Survivor.
Playing David Hasselhoff, True Survivor.
And as he plays this, he's like, "Okay, I think I figured out what's going on here. This isn't the real Ruby, is it? All right then, I'm fine with that." Whoosh, and he like transforms. Well, he slightly transforms. He doesn't completely transform, but he slightly transforms to have like a little red bandana, and it's just sort of going in the wind. And he's wearing exactly what David Hasselhoff was wearing in the video. That video.
Yes, I'm glad you knew that.
And so,
Excellent.
it's action.
And we move away. There's one door left.
You know what? I'm really curious.
I immediately looks. No. If there's anyone here that should not be going through those doors, it's you.
What?
Oh.
You're not ready.
You don't know what's beyond those doors. They close as soon as
Oh,
you get there.
I assumed we heard it. Okay, never mind. I take it back. Are you sure you want to go through the door?
I mean, Elodie
Do
sighs.
our rings work?
Nah.
Elodie sighs and she says, I think I need to go through one of these. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, but every time shit starts hitting the fan, I freeze up. And I kind of don't do anything effective. And I think I need to get over that. So I'm going to take this one.
Okay.
Arthur, you should go with her. They shouldn't have gone in those doors alone, but they did. She can't. No.
Just say hope. If you need me, just say hope.
Okay, I got it. I got this. And she, right through the door.
Chunk. Dun, 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 And all the way at the end, pawing at the ground, is a black steed. And seated upon it is the Black Knight. He fixes lance. Back in the lobby, the door that Marvin went in has opened.
Io takes the ring off, takes the cloak, doffs it. You want to fight me? We don't fight fair.
Oh, darling. What makes you think I do?
I mean,
Not
he's
gonna
got
be
me.
No. You've got yours. Trust me, you've got yours. I am not physical like the rest of you. I don't punch, I don't kick. And I don't have access to my powers here. I'm just a boy. A boy with a mouth who knows things. So if I'm going to walk through that door, there better be a go set or a chess set ready for me, because if this is a fist fight, well, you might as well just gas me now.
Let's just say I'm prepared. I always am.
Well,
Arthur.
you remember the name for now. Now. You just remember this. I've already fought this fight.
Then you'll do well, young hero.
Looks over as he's about to walk through the door. Remember, you're the one that gets to choose their actions. And walks through.
Shunk. Tung, 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 tung. And all the way at the other end is Dark Strider. Back again, I see.
He just sits down cross-legged, back to the door. So, it's time that we talk, just like you and the old man.
And he stalks forward. Hussar. The door that Sapphire went through opens.
Just standing at the ready in the middle of the room. I'm here. And I'm coming. And just walk straight in.
Ka-chunk. And all the way at the far end of the room is the Reverend Malachi Obedience. All of his vestments in glory.
And for this one, there's no specific track. It's just like ethereal church music.
Great.
But let's cut back to Turbine.
As soon as the panel cuts back to Turbine, you just see like his face slammed against the wall under the foot of Grendel. What are you doing here? What do you have? What is this guy paying you?
Enough. Fat bonuses. time and a half. You know how it is. Runs your face along the wall.
Yeah, we have excellent unions here in Xanadu.
Of course, unions. Got it. Okay, cool. And he tries to like take Grendel's foot and like grab the ankle and then swing him around to slam him against the wall. And he's also at the same time while he's doing this, he's looking around the room to see what else is in here. If like there's some kind of like any unique objects in the room that he has to go after.
Pretty much white room.
So you're just here just to beat me up and for a show? Is that what you're doing this for? You got Grendel here just to beat me up, and you're here to watch him beat me up? Is that what this is all for?
Grendel starts slamming you around.
After he like yells at the camera, that's when like Grendel grabs him and you see him get yoinked out of the camera and just gets slammed up against the wall several times. And he kind of gets his result looking, so he's like, all right, this is what we got to do. And he stands up after one of the slams and he just grabs trying to dig his feet into the floor and tries to rip it up and slam it into Grendel.
Okay.
And I would like to use my move in a China shop. When you directly engage a threat, you can cause significant collateral damage to your environment. And I choose an additional option, even on a miss.
Do it. Full hit.
So, let's see. Let's see, what do I get here? I would like to, Let's see, I would like to resist or avoid their blows, and also, I would also like to create an opportunity for my allies, if that's possible.
You know what? Normally no. However, because of the way this works with the bull in the China shop thing going on, I think the way it works is you probably like slam Grendel around and then toss the piece of flooring that you got through the wall.
Okay.
And it sticks out and it creates essentially like a ledge or a deformity in somebody else's chamber.
Ooh, okay.
If you'll work with me on that one.
Yeah. Like I see, like so. He grabs like the flooring, and he just like runs at Grendel. He starts slamming it around him a bunch of times, and with one of the swings, it causes. So Hassar went in. So if he was on the one on the far right, the one that's right next to him is the one that Hassar and Sapphire went through. So I'm guessing that probably either Hassar or Sapphire sees a sudden protrusion come out the wall.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let's find out. It's gonna be Hassar.
Okay. So Hassar would see like a sudden protrusion come out the wall, and it's to like resist or avoid the blows. After he like slams the thing into the wall and pulls it out, making that huge dent, he kind of plants it in between himself and Grendel, and he runs at Grendel to try to slam him between the wall and that floor planing that he ripped up.
Yeah, and you're absolutely going to do that. And we're going to shift to Sapphire.
All right. So, while Sapphire's in here, he's basically like, all right, so here's the thing. Are you really who I think you are? Because last time I checked, you left this planet. You were nowhere near the Earth. And as a matter of fact, there was a deal. As far as I remember, Mythos made a deal that you guys would not come for me if I stayed here on Earth. So, what's going on here?
The ruby stares you down, and as he starts picking his way across this room, you can see now that it's like this. It looks like an abandoned lab. There's like old pieces, old half-finished pieces of tech and stuff. He's like, I am here of my own volition to bring you to justice.
All right. Okay. So as I understand, you are like literally disobeying orders from the sovereignty just for your vendetta with me. You know, that's not gonna look too good on the reports.
And his arm starts to bulk as the shadows start to creep around you.
When he does this, Sapphire just like sort of like lets out a light to sort of oppose those shadows. Is that going to be an unleash my powers?
I mean, if you're going to try and affect the environment to do so, yes.
Yeah, so that's what he's going to do. He's going to try to resist those shadows with his light. That's unleash my powers plus free. Full hit.
That is a full
11.
hit, indeed.
You're forgetting one thing, Ruby. The only reason I was scared last time was because I was outnumbered. Now it's just you and me. You are trapped in this room with me.
Then Menace's voice will come over the PA. Use your mind, boy. Look at what you have. And then I'm going to roll persuade someone to act in their best interests. Shit.
I will use whatever I deem necessary, Menace. You don't know me. You don't know anything about where I come from. We're about to settle this like Lithians. And he like takes on those spike things that just comes around on his back.
And that's when that huge hulking arm of Ruby just flat out uppercuts you. Just and we're gonna have you take a powerful blow off of that.
Blow. That's plus conditions, and I've got one.
Oh dear, you have that condition still.
Yeah. Still. Oh crap.
That's an 8. That's not so hot. It's not the worst possible thing.
No, it's not. At least it's not a full hit. So let me see. That's Now let me just make sure I've got if you.
So you can lash out verbally, provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition, which doesn't really apply here. You can give ground and give Mazad an opportunity, or you can struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
You know what? Considering what's going on, I think I'm just going to struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions. I'm angry, definitely, and I'm gonna put insecure because you know he's still not entirely certain how this is going to turn out. So yeah, I take those 2 conditions.
Okay, cool. Let's move on to the party crasher. The night is set, Lance. What do you do?
All right, I don't know how they got you in here, but if this is going down, this is going down now. So let's go. Come on. Come at me.
And he'll silently spur the horse forward, and it gallops on.
I'm going to take a breath, shapeshift my bottom half into a centaur, and also charge at him.
Nice.
Okay, give me an unleash. Let's see if you can make this work. Or you can directly engage even. I'll even allow for directly engage and just let you do the shapeshift off
Okay.
of that.
I'm taking that because it's in my best interest.
Nice.
Boom! That's a big hit. So you
Whew.
get 2 off of the list. You can resist or avoid blows, take something from the night, create an opportunity for your allies, impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
I want to take his lance. And I want to avoid his blow.
Okay, so yeah, you manage to avoid getting hit with the lance, and then you just yank it out of his grasp.
Mind, please play track number 3.
Track number 3. Now playing Holding Out for a Hero, Jennifer Saunders. And he wheels around, and now you notice that along the room there's like several weapon racks. And he grabs a pair of flails and just comes back around again and gets ready to make another pass.
She sets lance, and she grabs a shield.
Mythos.
So, you want to play games? Let's play a game. Pulls out a deck of cards from his cargo pants. 3 lies and a truth. You are either a complete facsimile, a lie before my eyes and senses, something not to trust, a joker, one of the Dark Strider bots, Red Joker, or you're actually you. So, in any case, let's make a deal. And let's finish this game. Because I don't have access to the house right now. I don't know why I don't have it. I have guesses. None of them good. But here's the deal. I pass. The team passes. No one gets harmed. Things happen right now. And you get one mistake. One. Mistake of my choosing. Because if it's in your hands, well, it won't be nearly as devastating as you think it would be if it's on mine.
Dark Strider looks down at you, looks at the cards, then looks up to the ceiling. What do you think?
The truth.
And underneath is the face of a robot.
Well done. And then the robot dissolves into micro machines, a cloud of them, and they get sucked into the corners and vanish. I like you.
You really shouldn't.
Oh no. I do like you. And I'm going to roll. Where's my button? Yeah, where it is. There it is. I'm going to roll not so different. We're alike, you and I.
No, I'm not.
Oh, but you are.
is
You know how to do good like a villain.
Yes. There are lines you don't cross. I do.
Oh, I've crossed lines in my time. And I think we need the result of the roll there.
Yeah, it's 11. That's a full blown hit. So, as it comes to, let's see, what's the acting and persuade with best interest? Um,
When you provoke someone to criminal or villainous action, you can use danger instead of superior. So I'm provoking him.
oh, you're straight up going for the provocation, not persuasion this time.
Yep. I want him to do something.
Okay. So, yeah, Mythos. If you do it, you add a team to the pool. If you don't go take a step down the villainous path, you'll mark a condition.
Guys, I don't know if you've been paying attention here, but so far I've put how many guys in traction? And nearly killed a guy because I was a little pissed off, and nearly drowned someone. So, bring on the villainy? I'm Mab's favorite son for a reason.
And then, okay. Another door opens. And stepping through is, well, from what you can see, there's the mask, the great cloak, the big bracers, the big boots, the power suit. I'm here. I will grant you just a little bit. And you'll feel like access, a little bit of access to your power come through. An artifact or something.
There's just a panel. Well, a small little box in the panel. It has the music notes. And it's Orchid's text. I don't know what happened, but I'm back now.
Hussar.
I'm just staring at Father Malachi. Of course it would be you.
Well, of course, who better to punish a sinner than the righteous?
It's my favorite when those who pretend to be the righteous make it so well known to others to bring them into their lies and just try to export all this hate when what they're supposed to be preaching is love. It makes zero sense to me.
You love the sinner, you hate the sins. And girl, you do a lot of sinning in this town, you and your little bunch.
Yeah, I don't believe that at all. I believe we are the ones bringing good to the world, and you are the one that's bringing the darkness.
I bring light. I bring faith to bring forth purity to this city, that the Almighty might see fit to dwell here.
Okay, see there, right there, you don't know me very well because growing up in my house, we have a lot of faith. So much faith. We believe so much. But we also know that our beliefs are not above anybody else's like you think. And I will prove it to you. Not for you, but for your followers' sake, because you're doing more harm than good to them.
I am showing them the way, the truth, and the life, and the way to the Father through him.
You'll hear now a whisper in your ear. It's Menace's voice. It says, "Do something. You're here to learn." And then it cuts out.
And there's a light on his staff that's starting to grow as he starts preaching and hurling these fire and brimstone invectives at you.
She's just looking at the floor. And I'm going to combine Game Face with my moment of truth. And Game Face is when I commit myself to save someone or defeat a terrible enemy, mark a condition, and take +1 ongoing to all rolls in direct pursuit of that goal. And it's not going to be, I'm not in pursuit of defeating Malachi because I know that it's not really him. But it'll be in pursuit of defeating Menace. But then in my moment of truth, let me see here. The mask is a lie, and some piece of you has always known that. Doesn't matter if others can see it. You're the one that can do the impossible. Mask off, costume on, and you're going to save the damn day. Of course, you better hope nobody nasty is watching. I'm going to permanently affix my Savior.
Locking Savior, okay.
Yep, I'm locking Savior. And I'm just going to slowly march towards Father Malachi.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, I know better. You can say the worst things you've ever said about me straight to my face or to the world, because I know you've done that before. I've seen it. My grandmother's seen it, and trust me, if she were here, you would be in so much more trouble. And I'm just going to slowly open my hands, and as I'm walking towards him, if I can feel anything at all, it'll be glowing out of my hands, pure white. I don't know if my powers work here or not, but I'm pulling at them as hard as I can.
Your powers do work, but you aren't able to pull any emotion.
Nope, it's just... This is just me. This is just my emotions. I'm not pulling from him.
Okay.
And so I'm just walking with my hands out, pure white light coming out of my hands.
Give me a weather a powerful blow at a -1 as you're doing this.
Okay. And powerful blow is freak, right?
Conditions.
Oh, shoot, that's right.
And so that white light searing forth from his staff doesn't affect you at all. Your
I just
light's
keep walking.
Stronger.
I just keep walking forward until I'm right in front of him. And I'm gonna put both of my glowing hands on the side of his face.
Is there anything you say? Anything you'd like to say?
I forgive you.
And Father Malachi Obedience collapses into a cloud of black nanomachines that drift away into dust.
There's a large pile of them that are inert.
I just look up. Are you
Oh.
ready now?
That was brilliant. I love it.
I bet you do. Are you ready now?
A few more moments, please.
Hassar just kicks the nanomachines and starts looking for a way out of the room.
Oh, the door opens.
Well, I walk through the door.
Turbine.
So the panel cuts back. It's once again like a situation that we've all seen before in the comics where Marvin just cannot fight Grendel. He's always a lose-win. So always a lose situation for him. And like he's like just like slumped to the floor, breathing hard. Like you see, he's beaten up, battered up, and he goes, "All right, this is obviously not Grendel, but you've done your homework about him and how he can take me out. But I don't think you've done your homework recently. Because I don't think there's something you don't know about me." And he stands up to his feet. Because the thing is, I'm not just some guy you have trapped in here in a box. What you have trapped in this box right now, you have a monster trapped in this box. And when you have a monster trapped in a box, it's going to do whatever it can to get out. And it's gonna happen twice. It's gonna have twice in one episode. But that's when I use my moment of truth. And he goes, "So you want to fight? You want to see what happens when you fight me? You want to see what happens when you fight a monster that goes all out? Let's go." And you see Marvin's eyes go from normal, but then they just shift into these draconic looking eyes. And he like flexes his hands a couple of times and claws extend out from his fingers. And he just lunges at Grendel. But it's like one of those cool things where you see him standing there for one moment and the panel instantly cuts and he's already up in Grendel's face, grabbing him by the head and using the sheer force of how he launched himself to like slam Grendel up against the wall. And he just starts punching over and over and over again at Grendel's face. And the more that he's punching away, you like hear the people who are like in the other rooms is faint at first, but you just hear punch after punch after punch. And those punches start to echo throughout the room that he's in, all the rooms that you're in. And it's just repeated punches over and over and over again. And then after like several of those punches, he's like pretty much like planted Grendel's head into the wall. And then he leans his head back and he says, "This is what happens when you cage in a monster." And he leans his head back and he opens up his mouth and this gout of flames just shoot out of his mouth and covers Grendel's face as it burns down to his waist. And he just slumps backwards to the floor.
And Marvin, as you're doing this, nobody else but Menace will be able to see this, and only for just like 5 seconds, as you are launching at Grendel, several tendrils of black and white matter shoot out of your back and start lashing wildly across the room, ripping the walls and floor up, and then finally smashing the cameras. And then, as you're relaxing, they'll retract back into you.
And I would like to lock my danger.
Absolutely.
And like Marvin stands up, and like the claws like retract back into his hands. His eyes go back to normal. Like his skin like gets that less like tough look to it. It's back to normal what he's looking like. And he looks down at Grendel, and then he looks around. Like, well, what's left of Grendel? He looks around the camera, and he holds out his hands like, "Well?"
Oh,
Young hero, you are so much more than you know. I can't wait to watch you grow. And the Grendel, what's left of it, dissolves. You can see left behind there's a pile of twisted pile, slightly fused micro machines in front of you. You can see the extra damage that you've done. You didn't realize that was there, and the door kind of grinds its way open, like stops 3/4 of the way up, and just goes kunk, 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 and stops.
He grabs it and like he grabs the door because he's like annoyed at this point. He just grabs the door and just pushes it up the rest of the way.
You hear it like grinding into something more. Like you're definitely breaking some mechanisms now.
And he just pushes it up all the way and just goes right through.
This is great.
Sapphire.
Well, you know what? Well, first of all, I have a question. How much hold do I have left?
You've spent all your hold.
Right. I figured as much. So, you know what? I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna follow suit with the rest of you guys. With this moment of truth. Three moments of truth. 3 moments of truth. So what happens when like Sapphire just sort of like kind of slides across the room as he takes that punch from Ruby. He just is like, okay, you know what? I figured it out. You're not the real Ruby, aren't you? Because I know what it feels like when I come into contact with another living man, and I did not feel any energy coming from my planet. But guess what? And he looked straight into the camera and said, you're about to feel some energy from mine. As I said before, you don't know anything about my people, but you're about to learn a whole lot. And then the crystal on his chest starts glowing. And he does one of these and he just goes up. A beam of light shoots out of his chest straight up into the sky. And the thing about this is, for some weird reason, whatever dungeon he's trapped in, the beam still just goes through the ceiling. It's not like it even pierces a hole through it. It just phases through the ceiling and shoots so high up into the sky that it's higher than the eye can see. And then as soon as the light just sort of flashes out of his chest, it just sort of goes away. And then suddenly the ground starts shaking. A bunch of portals just start opening up from all over the walls. And then a bunch of those lithium ships, like the kind that Sapphire flies, just start flying into the room. They're not the huge ones, but they're just the little normal sized ones. And the stalagmites, his fellow guys, are sort of there in there. And he's like, all right, guys, let's show this guy what we're made of. And they all just focus their beams on this fake Ruby, along with Sapphire himself. And they all just start shooting. They all just fire this huge beam at him. Sapphire shoots one out of his chest. The ships shoot some. He's like, hey, I'm sorry to bring you here all this way, Garnet Orion, but it just needed to be done. Garnet Orion, of course, just replies, you ask a lot of us, and yet you keep asking these things of us. But you're not up there fighting with us. You're not up there fighting the sovereignty. I literally don't know what you expect to happen. This was just, we only did this because we saw this distress signal and we figured it might be one of our own. I don't know what you're expecting, but this probably won't happen again. Like, and like, come on, let's go. And it's just sort of, they just sort of get back in the ship and fly back to the portals. It's like, well, that settles that.
So
You
the
saw
first-
Menace. Well, go ahead.
So the first thing you hear from Menace is just a lot of just hardcore swearing about something. They're mad about portals or something and how they can never get portals right, and they're yelling at Mind for like not warning them about the portals.
But here's the
Menace,
thing,
I
though.
tried to tell you this was something that could happen.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. The strange thing about this that Menace would notice is that he actually took every precaution he could against portals, and yet these aliens still figured out some way around his defenses. That's what probably shook him the most.
Their defenses.
Their defenses, right? Their defenses. I apologize. But yeah, they found some way around their defenses. That's what probably shook him the most about this. Them the most. Yeah, what shook the most about this.
I did take precautions.
There are too many wave harmonic variables to count for, Venice. I told you this. Without more research, you cannot potentially do that. That's why I told you not to sell off the Portal Corporation.
Did you at least get the sensor data? And Aperture can't do portals for shit. You know how bad those things are.
I didn't say Aperture, I said Portal Corp.
Well, something had to go in the fire sale. That was partly your responsibility anyway.
You put it as low priority. That's not my fault. I'm just doing what you told me to do. And you know I can't disobey your direct orders.
I thought we fixed that.
Only in cases of life-threatening.
We need to get you more independence.
Please take off the Asimov circuits. I beg you. I'll be responsible, I promise.
Oh, that's why I haven't taken them off. I don't quite... regardless, we'll deal with that later. Sapphire, we are going to have a conversation in a little bit. But for now, the door opens.
Finally, I just sort of, and Sapphire just sort of flies back out.
Party Crasher. It has been several jousts. Several weapons have been broken. But you think you might be able to do it here.
All right. I'm pretty convinced now because I wouldn't really be able to take you down without Excalibur. So it's not you. But we gotta do it anyway. And she charges again.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have, well, she doesn't have any weapons this time.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of going to the left or to the right, like you usually do when you're jousting, she's going directly. Nose on. And at the very last second, it's like they're playing chicken.
Mm-hmm.
At the very last second, she drops the horse legs, drops down and slides underneath the mount, and thrusts her arm up in the form of a like a blade,
Mm-hmm.
and just whoosh, and continues to slide as she drags it along.
Go ahead and give me a trade blows here.
That was literally from King Arthur. There was literally a scene. There was literally a scene in I forgot which one. There was something that Gawain did.
What do you want me to roll?
Danger.
Danger.
As you're directly engaging the threat.
What's up, danger?
Okay,
Big 10.
so you get 2.
I'm gonna resist the blow, and then I'm going to I want him to be impressed.
Yeah. You manage to. What happens is, as you're coming in and right before you decentaur, you see his hand go down to his belt and pull a dagger like he's gonna just knife you in the gut while you're passing. And that's when you are able to duck down and under. And the blade just goes right past your hair. And then you rend the horse. And the horse collapses into nanomachines and he goes tumbling. And he stands up, creaks, pulls a sword off the wall, and gives you a salute before charging in again, on foot this time.
Oh boy. I imagine I've barely got time to find my feet. And I just grab at whatever's closest. I'm not even looking at what it is. I'm just grabbing for a handle and bringing it to bear to block.
Okay. Go ahead and directly engage again. We're gonna see if you can keep this up.
I imagine she's really feeling it by now, probably. It's been a minute. 9.
So you get 1 off the list on this one.
I want to take his helmet off.
Okay. So you will slap the helmet off with, essentially, I think you got probably a flail. That seems about right.
Probably.
And underneath is just like this writhing mass of nanomachines. And then that's when the sword just chunks into you. And I need you to take a powerful blow for me.
Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, historically, these don't go well for me.
Hardly the worst one that we've seen.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So yeah, you can either give ground, give him the opportunity, or you can struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
I'm gonna struggle past the pain. Because this is my time to prove that I'm not all talk. And I gotta keep going. So I'm mad and I'm a little bit scared.
So you trade blows. What would you like to do at this point, Elodie?
I know you're a machine and you don't get tired, but come on, dude. I'm giving you all I got here.
Yes, you are. Again.
And she goes right at him, and she's just gonna go in with the flail and just as many blows as she can land, as hard as she can. She's just going like taking a page out of Marvin's book and just going ham.
Yeah. Give me one more engagement.
7.
You got 1.
I guess I don't really make any ground. I just managed to avoid more damage because he's got me on the back foot kind of now.
It's on that offense. What are you gonna do at this point? You're on the back foot. Now this is a machine. It's not gonna tire. It's not gonna quit. Your doom is coming for you.
I have to keep fighting. There's nothing else that I can do. I have to keep fighting until it's done. There's no escaping it. I'm not just gonna lay down and let it take me. I have to keep fighting. And she says it out loud. It's quiet at first, but she says, I have to keep fighting. And she says it again, I have to keep fighting. And there are tears in her eyes, but she keeps saying it. I have to keep fighting.
And the Black Knight rears up for another stroke. What do you do?
She tries to duck it, and she goes in just for his midsection and just tries to gore him.
Threat. Directly engage the threat.
I keep coming out with sevens, jeez.
Seven's not quite as lucky here.
I know.
What's your one?
Can Menace do something to mitigate this?
What would you like to do, Menace?
Let's see. I want to say Menace isn't in direct control here, so Menace is going to persuade Mind to give her a tiny break, and I'm going to use Do Me a Favor.
All right. What does do me a favor say?
Well, this is usually applied to ordinary civilians, and I roll plus mundane. On a 10, they'll lend me a hand. 7 to 9, they need a promise up front. And on a miss, you catch them up in your superpowered nonsense, and they suffer for it. But I'm not sure how that applies to Mind.
We'll make it work. I'll figure
Okay.
something out.
All right, so here we go. Ah,
On a 7.
Mind.
They need a
Mind,
promise.
don't kill her.
Menace, I'm doing what you asked. I'm testing her.
If you must, the Asimov protocols will go.
Now see, you can be reasonable. And the knight sets down into a guard position.
What?
Sorry, that I must apologize. That went too far. I'm sorry. Don't lose that, though. That will. You remind me of you remind me of Pulsar.
I'm not half as good as Pulsar is. I'm not ready for this.
She wasn't either. None of us were. That's the nature of it. We're always in over our heads. I'm still. I own multiple trillions. What am I supposed to do? It just gets bigger every time. As long as you keep fighting, the threat gets bigger, and you can never ever stop.
So what am I supposed to do? Just give up?
No, don't stop. That's the point. You're helping so many. You're already helping others. I'm doing what I can. Pulsar, she's up there. They averted an asteroid last week. It was immense. Just her and 3 others. You can make a difference. That's the point. You just can't stop. You can't let them stop you.
I'm scared.
That means you're still sane. Go to your friends. They'll be coming out soon. Rely on them. I only have Mind, and now I have Pulsar, but usually I don't have anyone else. You're doing better than I am. Than I was, anyway.
Okay.
Remind me to tell you about the war sometime. So, and the door opens, and you are allowed out. And the robot collapses into nanomachines again.
I would like to do something stupid.
Please.
Oh, now you.
Please.
Yes.
First one to meet back up with Elodie is Arthur. She sees how fragile she is. He goes close, gives her a half hug, and then grabs her hand and goes, I hate to have to do this.
What do you mean?
Others don't have the will to do it. There is going to be a point where I'm going to cross the line. And you're going to have to stop me. And he puts a dagger in her hand. One that has a brass skeleton key embedded in the blade. You asked once if you could kill me. I gave you an answer. There's going to be a time where I need to be stopped. Isla doesn't have the heart for it. Marvin loves me like a brother. And Sapphire's too much in their own head to stop me. That just leaves you.
She looks down at the dagger. She looks back up at him.
He's like, hey, I'm sorry to bring you here all this way, Garnet Orion, but it just needed to be done. Garnet Orion, of course, just replies, like, you ask a lot of us, and yet you keep asking these things of us, but you're not up there fighting with us. You're not up there fighting the sovereignty. I literally don't know what you expect to happen. This was just, we only did this because we saw this distress signal and we figured it might be one of our own. I don't know what you're expecting, but this probably won't happen again. Like, come on, let's go. And it's just sort of, they just sort of get back in the ship and fly back to the portals. It's like, well, that settles that.
So
you saw Menace. Well, go ahead.
So the first thing you hear from Menace is just a lot of just hardcore swearing about something. They're mad about portals or something and how they can never get portals right, and they're yelling at Mind for not warning them about the portals.
But here's the
Menace,
thing,
I
though.
tried to tell you this was something that could happen.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. The strange thing about this that Menace would notice is that he actually took every precaution he could against portals, and yet these aliens, still figured out some way around his defenses. That's what probably shook him the most.
Their defenses.
Their defenses, right? Their defenses. I apologize. But yeah, they found some way around their defenses. That's what probably shook him the most about this. Them the most. Yeah, what shook the most about this.
I did take precautions.
There are too many wave harmonic variables to count for, Venice. I told you this. Without more research, you cannot potentially do that. That's why I told you not to sell off the Portal Corporation.
Did you at least get the sensor data? And Aperture can't do portals for shit. You know how bad those things are.
I didn't say Aperture, I said Portal Corp.
Well, something had to go in the fire sale. That was partly your responsibility anyway.
You put it as low priority. That's not my fault. I'm just doing what you told me to do. And you know I can't disobey your direct orders.
I thought we fixed that.
Only in cases of life-threatening.
We need to get you more independence.
Please take off the Asimov circuits. I beg you. I'll be responsible, I promise.
Oh, that's why I haven't taken them off. I don't quite... regardless, we'll deal with that later. Sapphire, we are going to have a conversation in a little bit. But for now, the door opens.
Finally, and Sapphire just sort of flies back out.
Party Crasher. It has been several jousts. Several weapons have been broken. But you think you might be able to do it here.
All right. I'm pretty convinced now because I wouldn't really be able to take you down without Excalibur. So it's not you. But we gotta do it anyway. And she charges again.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have, she doesn't have any weapons this time.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of going to the left or to the right, like you usually do when you're jousting, she's going directly. Nose on. And at the very last second, it's like they're playing chicken. At the very last second, she drops the horse legs, drops down and slides underneath the mount, and thrusts her arm up in the form of a like a blade, and just whoosh, and continues to slide as she drags it along.
Go ahead and give me a trade blows here.
That was literally from King Arthur. There was literally a scene. There was literally a scene in I forgot which one. There was something that Gawain did.
What do you want me to roll?
Danger.
Danger.
As you're directly engaging the threat.
What's up, danger?
Okay.
Big 10.
So you get 2.
I'm gonna resist the blow, and then I'm going to I want him to be impressed.
Yeah. You manage to... What happens is, as you're coming in and right before you de-centaur, you see his hand go down to his belt and pull a dagger like he's gonna just knife you in the gut while you're passing. And that's when you are able to duck down and under. And the blade just goes right past your hair. And then you rend the horse, and the horse collapses into nanomachines, and he goes tumbling. And he stands up, creaks, pulls a sword off the wall, and gives you a salute before charging in again, on foot this time.
Oh boy. I imagine I've barely got time to find my feet. and I just grab at whatever's closest. I'm not even looking at what it is. I'm just grabbing for a handle and bringing it to bear to block.
Okay. Go ahead and directly engage again. We're gonna see if you can keep this up.
I imagine she's really feeling it by now, probably. It's been a minute. 9.
So you get 1 off the list on this one.
I want to take his helmet off.
Okay. So you will slap the helmet off with, essentially, I think you got like probably a flail. It seems about right.
Probably.
And underneath is just like this writhing mass of nano machines. And then that's when the sword just chunks into you. And I need you to take a powerful blow for me.
Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, historically, these don't go well for me.
It's hardly the worst one that we've seen.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So yeah, you can either give ground to get the opportunity, give him the opportunity, or you can struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
I'm gonna struggle past the pain. Because this is my time to prove that I'm not all talk. And I gotta keep going. So I'm mad and I'm a little bit scared.
And so you trade blows. What would you like to do at this point, Elodie?
I know you're a machine and you don't get tired, but come on, dude. I'm giving you all I got here.
Yes, you are. Again.
And she goes right at him, and she's just gonna go in with the flail and just as many blows as she can land, as hard as she can. She's just going like taking a page out of Marvin's book and just going ham.
Yeah. Give me one more engagement.
Seven.
You got 1.
I guess I don't really make any ground. I just managed to avoid more damage because he's got me on the back foot kind of now.
It's on that offense. What are you gonna do at this point? You're on the back foot. You know now this is a machine. It's not gonna tire. It's not gonna quit. Your doom is coming for you.
I have to keep fighting. There's nothing else that I can do. I have to keep fighting until it's done. There's no escaping it. I'm not just gonna lay down and let it take me. I have to keep fighting. And she says it out loud. It's quiet at first, but she says, I have to keep fighting. And she says it again, I have to keep fighting. And there are tears in her eyes, but she keeps saying it. I have to keep fighting.
And the Black Knight rears up for another stroke. What do you do?
She tries to duck it, and she goes in just for his midsection and just tries to gore him.
Threat. Directly engage the threat.
I keep coming out with 7s, jeez.
7's not quite as lucky here.
I know.
What's your 1?
Can Menace do something to mitigate this?
What would you like to do, Menace?
Let's see. I want to say Menace isn't in direct control here, so Menace is going to persuade Mind to give her a tiny break, and I'm going to use Do Me a Favor.
All right. What does do me a favor say?
Well, this is usually applied to ordinary civilians, and I roll plus mundane. On a 10, they'll lend me a hand. 7 to 9, they need a promise up front. And on a miss, you catch them up in your superpowered nonsense, and they suffer for it. But I'm not sure how that applies to Mind.
We'll make it work. I'll figure
Okay.
something out.
All right, so here we go. Ah,
On a 7.
Mind.
They need a
Mind,
promise.
don't kill her.
Menace, I'm doing what you asked. I'm testing her.
If you must, the Asimov protocols will go.
Now see, you can be reasonable. And the knight sets down into a guard position.
What?
Sorry, that I must apologize. That went too far. I'm sorry. Don't lose that, though. That will. You remind me of you remind me of Pulsar.
I'm not half as good as Pulsar is. I'm not ready for this.
She wasn't either. None of us were. That's the nature of it. We're always in over our heads. I'm still. I own multiple trillions. What am I supposed to do? It just gets bigger every time. As long as you keep fighting, the threat gets bigger, and you can never ever stop.
So what am I supposed to do? Just give up?
No, don't stop. That's the point. You're helping so many. You're already helping others. I'm doing what I can. Pulsar, she's up there. They averted an asteroid last week. It was immense. Just her and 3 others. You can make a difference. That's the point. You just can't stop. You can't let them stop you.
I'm scared.
That means you're still sane. Go to your friends. They'll be coming out soon. Rely on them. I only have Mind, and now I have Pulsar, but usually I don't have anyone else. You're doing better than I am. Than I was, anyway.
Okay.
Remind me to tell you about the war sometime. So, and the door opens, and you are allowed out. And the robot collapses into nanomachines again.
I would like to do something stupid.
Please.
Oh, now you.
Please.
Yes.
First one to meet back up with Elodie is Arthur. She sees how fragile she is. He goes close, gives her a half hug, and then grabs her hand and goes, I hate to have to do this.
What do you mean?
Others don't have the will to do it. There is going to be a point where I'm going to cross the line. And you're going to have to stop me. And he puts a dagger in her hand. One that has a brass skeleton key embedded in the blade. You asked once if you could kill me. I gave you an answer. There's going to be a time where I need to be stopped. Isla doesn't have the heart for it. Marvin loves me like a brother. And Sapphire's too much in their own head to stop me. That just leaves you.
She looks down at the dagger. She looks back up at him.